Oh boy, this month is gonna be amazing. So we enter Techtober, and the first big event we got, or the first big launch we got, and it's from AMD. So it's been only few hours that AMD has officially announced their new 5000 series Zen 3 based desktop CPUs, and yes, they are calling it 5000, not 4000, because they want to streamline their naming scheme. And so all the APUs that are based on second gen Zen architecture, those are named 4000, and all the Zen 3 parts are going to be named 5000, and also the Zen 3 APUs also going to be named 5000. Now, before talking about AMD, seriously, Intel, a blog post, like, at least I expect more than that. So I'm not gonna talk about it. That's now, I'm not gonna tell you the hard specs. If you want to know all the specs and everything, I have linked down article in the description. Go and check it out. You will know all the things there is to know specs wise. But the basic thing that you need to know, and that is that AMD launched 4 CPUs today: as Ryzen 9 5950X, a Ryzen 9 5900X, a Ryzen 7 5800X, and a Ryzen 5 5600X. All of these are X core part. It's not the non-X part, which it's I'm not sure that they are coming or not, but some rumors are indicating that yes, they are coming and some are not. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but these all 4 CPUs have the same core count as their predecessor, so there is no core increase, but you can see 1 to 200 megahertz boost clock increase, so that's a plus point. So right now the fastest Zen 3 processor is at 4.9 gigahertz, and that's really amazing. And all these CPUs are going to be available for purchase from November 5th globally. And also, this time AMD hiked up the price by $50 in every price segment. Now that was all the thing you need to know, or the basic thing you need to know, that what happened in the event. Now let's talk some different things. First, what AMD haven't talked about and what you need to know. First and foremost thing is the motherboard compatibility. So AMD haven't launched any new motherboards with the 5000 series CPUs. So all the 500 series motherboards are going to be supported with Zen 3, and the 400 series are also supported with Zen 3, but it looks like some selected motherboards are only going to work with 400 Zen 3, like the 400, some very selected Zen 400 series motherboard will work with Zen 3. Now talking about the BIOS update, well, the beta BIOS update is already available for the 500 series motherboards, and probably November 5th you will get official stable BIOS update, and you can run your new Zen 3 CPUs pretty easily. And now talking about 400 series, well, there won't be, I think, no BIOS update till January. So if you have a 400 series motherboard and if you want to upgrade to it to a Zen 3, then you have to upgrade a motherboard. And I suggest you, if you are upgrading to Zen 3, you should upgrade your motherboard, because there are some features like PCIe Gen 4 capability, which is only available with 500 series motherboard. Now talking about PCIe Gen 3 capability, the IO is also similar with Zen 2 and Zen 3. Now another important thing that you need to know, except the Ryzen 5 5600X, you won't be seeing any box cooler with any other Zen 3 CPUs. The AMD chose this path because as per them, their box cooler are not the best option when it comes to cooling those higher end 105 watt TDP CPUs, and I kind of agree with them. And also at the same time, if you can buy a 16 core Ryzen 9 CPU, then probably you can afford a good third party cooler. Now one more interesting is that the Zen 3 is also based on the same architectural node that the Zen 2 was based on. That means the Zen 3 is also based on a 7 nanometer fabrication node, not 7 nanometer enhanced or 7 nanometer plus. It's based on the same 7 nanometer architecture, but with some engineering improvement and design improvement, AMD managed to make this CPU, or specifically the Ryzen 9 5900X, the world's best gaming CPU as per AMD. And also the charts are kind of telling the same story, but I'm coming to that later. But what are the major differences? First is the cache layout design. So in Zen 2, they started using a chiplet design with their CPU. So each chiplet used to have 2 CCXs, and in that 2 CCXs there are 4 cores. So they used to have a 32 gigabytes of L3 cache, but that 32 gigabytes L3 cache is divided into 2 sectors, and those 2 sectors are connecting to each chiplet, like each chiplet connecting to those 16 gigabytes cache. Now in Zen 3 they have a unified 32 gigabytes of L3 cache block, and each chiplet can work as its own CCXs. So that means in each CCXs now AMD can have 8 cores, and that is the reason why I was saying that we can see some core increase, but we haven't. So that's the thing. So right now each chiplet or each CCX can use a 32 gigabytes of L3 cache unifiedly. So now there is gonna be no latency, and it really can improve the gaming performance, and which we are seeing that yes, it is improved. It have improved the gaming performance. Now all these things are great, but what was the most interesting thing that AMD showed us on the event was the 19% IPC improvement. So if you don't know what IPC is instruction per cycle or instruction per clock. So what that 90% improvement means. So that means if I compare a Zen 2 CPU which is clocked at 4 gigahertz and a Zen 3 CPU which is also clocked at 4 gigahertz, the Zen 3 CPU is going to perform 19% better, even though they are same core, same clocked. Because of the IPC improvement, the Zen 3 CPU will perform better than the Zen 2. Now talking about gaming benchmark and productivity task, as we are seeing that in like every single game, AMD's 5900X is really better. Like in some game it's marginally better, or in some game it's like tied up, and in some games it is really better. And not only that, in lightly single threaded workload like with V-Ray, in Cinebench, in a multi threaded workload, like AMD was great when it comes to multi-threaded workload. Now it's also great on a lightly single-threaded workload gaming. It's really a great all-around package. Like honestly, Lisa Su first, like when she introduced the first Zen based CPU, Ryzen 1000 CPUs, she said that these Ryzen CPUs are gonna age like fine wine, and honestly it is kind of true. It looks like it's kind of true. Now these are honestly all the things you need to know. Now as always, I will suggest you don't blindly trust on the first party benchmarks. Wait for the third party benchmark. Even then, see more than one third party benchmark, read more than one benchmark articles, because you need to gather as much information as you can before you make your buying decision. But one thing that I want to talk about the whole event is it was short, simple, and right to the point. They haven't like talked about any, like they haven't stretched anything way too much that wasn't like that's gonna waste our time. They haven't done that. So that's the thing I really liked. And another thing, they compared their product with they compare Zen, their own product, with their own product. It's confusing. I mean, like AMD compared their latest generation CPU with their last generation CPUs, and that's how you do a presentation. That's how you do a product launch. You compare your product with your last gen product, because you are confident not only with your latest gen product but also with your last gen product. That shows that how confident you are, that you have to only use your competition word in twice in the whole event, and there is only was I think like 1 or 2 slides. Like the whole event was like 20 to 30 minutes long, and there are a bunch of slides that they showed us, but there was only 2 slides where there was mentioned Intel 10900K. In every other slides they were comparing their own CPUs with their own CPUs. So yeah, that's how you do a launching event. And honestly, it was like if you watch the first Ryzen announcement, the whole event, it was like you will see that it wasn't that much polished. And when I watched this event, I thought like, yeah, they are like AMD is matured right now. They know what they are doing. So yeah, kudos to Lisa Su. She really changed the whole company. But that was all good. Now let's talk about some of my concerns. First is that now I want Intel to fight back. I really want Intel to fight back because it looks like AMD not only got a little bit comfortable, I'm not gonna say they got comfortable, but they right now know that they can milk their customer a little bit more than they were able to do like 2 or 3 years ago. So that is the reason we are seeing $50 price hike, and also like in some cases it is much more expensive than Intel's part. So that's kind of a crazy, but also at the same time they're bringing great value, so it's kind of justifiable. And I like the performance they're promising, and if they can deliver the same performance, I can totally justify spending $50 more with these CPUs. But I want Intel to fight back, because if Intel fight back and bring competition, then AMD will do way better than they are doing right now. They will also try to fight back because they gained reputation, they gained market share, and they don't want to lose it. And Intel is every single day losing reputation and market share. So that's kind of very interesting. So, but other than that, the whole event was great. All the CPUs are looking great, and I personally won't be upgrading anytime soon with a Zen 3, because I am looking forward to Zen 4, because my PC is working really fine and I don't need any CPU upgrade right now at this moment. But let me know, are you guys going to upgrade or not? And after all the benchmarks and everything hits the internet, I will update you. So for that, you need to subscribe. And if you want to like this video, do it. It really helps the channel. And if you want to dislike, do it. Again, it's also totally free. You can also do it. And if you want to watch more videos from us, check out this video right here. And if you want to subscribe, which I will suggest you do that, do it by here. And this is Akash, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.